practicing a meditation technique which is mentioned in the Amritabindu Upanishad. It is important for Upanishadic sadhaks to meditate every day and follow the steps and follow only one technique for some time. If I am following different techniques all the time, it will not work or give results. So whichever technique I find easy, doable, I must follow it every day, at least 15 minutes meditation. And when we are studying the Amritabindu Upanishad, we are practicing the Omkar sadhana. Other steps normally are common in most meditation techniques. So the step number 1 is Sthira Sukha Asanam. We must hold our body still, and as Gurudev says, not even 1 millimeter it should move. So let us sit straight, head, neck, backbone straight in one line, hands either locked or on the thighs. Every day I must practice sitting in this Sthira Sukha Asana. Step number 2, Sankalpa. I take a resolve which is very important. Resolve that I will sit for next 10 minutes without moving. Resolve that at this particular point of time, my only role is of a sadhak who is in search of self. I am not sitting here as a husband, wife, grandmother, grandchildren, granddaughter, sister, brother. I am nothing, want nothing except this Atma Sakshatkar, Ishvara Sakshatkar, or truth, whatever is my liking. Step number 3, I invoke Lord's grace. To do this, I must bring our Ishta Devata's form in front of us. We invoke our Guru's grace. We invoke and bring our Guru's form in front of us with eyes closed. And imagine that the Guru and Ishwar are blessing us by radiating golden blue light energy, and the light energy is flowing through all parts of my body. With this light golden energy, I scan my body from head to toe and give a instruction of healing and relaxation. So my head is healed and relaxed. The eyeballs inside the eyes are still. The brain is relaxed. My shoulders are relaxed and healed. My entire chest and stomach, internal organs, heart is relaxed and healed. My back vertebral column with all the nerve centers are healed and relaxed. My buttocks, groin, thighs, knees are healed and relaxed. Calf muscles, shin, ankles, feet are healed and relaxed. My body is completely healed, relaxed. And for this sadhana, I forget the body. And body is in all health. The body doesn't call for any attention. As far as possible, Vedantic sadhaks or Upanishadic sadhaks do not talk about their body much in day-to-day transactions with other people. I withdraw the mind from the body and focus on the breath. Just watch the breath, the inhalation, exhalation continuously going on. Watch the breath where it is touching inside the nostrils. Which nostril is more operational? Which nostril is less operational? Where the breath is touching in exhalation on the upper lip. When the mind is subtle, sharp, and pure, it will be immediately able to observe whatever its focus is on. Vedantic sadhaks practice more of drashta bhav than karta and bhokta bhav. The more time we tell ourselves that I am going to observe my body, my mind, my breath, my thoughts, it is a meditation. We can practice 24 hours of meditation. Drashta bhav is very, very important to practice. The mind is concentrated and pure by focusing on the breath. We practice 12 omkars. The focus must be on the sound. And the next step is focusing on the silence. Om. 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 Now for three omkars, we'll focus on the silence. And when we are completing the omkar, we can hold our breath. Take a deep breath. Om. Hold the breath. Just observe the silence. Let us take a deep breath. Om. Hold the breath. Take a deep breath. Om. The breath. The mind is observing the silence. In that, we tell in our mind to ourselves, my real nature is pure existence, consciousness, infinite bliss. When the mind is silent, body is still. Initially, we have to instruct the mind that I am pure existence, consciousness, infinite bliss. And later on, by practice, the mind abides in this and then dissolves. Dissolution of mind and intellect is manonasha, and then Spuratirut Swayam Paramapurna Sat. I realize that I am not the body, mind, intellect, but I am pure existence, consciousness, infinite bliss. This is the purpose of life. After completing meditation, we again invoke Lord's grace by chanting. In this session, we are chanting loudly. Om. Om. Om.
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो वरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्
Hari Om to all. Thank you, Vidya. So, Upanishadic student has approached the Guru and he has told that I know about many things about the Shastra, but still I am feeling miserable. Still anger comes. Still I am not able to realize. Still I get attached. And the Guru has told in the first verse where the Upanishad starts that Manohi Dvidam Proktam Shuddham Cha Shuddham Evacha Ashuddham Kama Sankalpam Shuddham Kama Vivarjitam. So the cause is mind, because mind indeed is of two types, impure and pure. So the question is answered that in spite of knowing so many concepts of Vedanta, still I'm not able to experience my real nature, which is Sat Chit Ananda. Why? Because of impurity of the mind. So there are two kinds of mind, one pure, one impure. And so there is a need to analyze the mind, asking what is mind. So mind is flow of thoughts, and very important portion we took in this Amritabindu Upanishad, that the flow is guided by two banks, two beliefs, two notions. What we have, very strong notions. That is the reason we suffer. And these two notions are that I am body, mind, intellect, when I am Satchitananda Swarup. Notion number one. And notion number two is this world is real. This world can give me happiness. This world is very beautiful and tempting. So these are the two notions on which the Upanishad or the Vedantic student works, because many times people say that I want to overcome my anger. I want to overcome my disturbance. I want to overcome various notions of impure mind. But where this impurity is originating from, so we are going to the source, that this is originating from this strong notion. These two notions are important. These two notions in Vedanta is called as ignorance, avidya. We are going to take one special session on avidya uh, in detail. What is the difference in avidya and adhyasa? Very important one. What is adhyasa and what is the avidya? So then there is a need for analyzing the mind in detail, because then the second verse says that mind alone is bondage and mind alone is the liberation. So with that, we will request Vidya to chant verse number 1 once and verse number 2 two times, so that we can start the analysis of the verse number 2.
मनो हि द्विविधं प्रोक्तं शुद्धं चाशुद्धमेव च अशुद्धं कामसङ्कल्पं शुद्धं कामविवर्जितं मन एव मनुष्याणां कारणं बन्धमोक्षयोः बन्धाय विषयासक्तं मुक्तं निर्विषयं स्मृतं मन एव मनुष्याणां कारणं बन्धमोक्षयोः बन्धाय विषयासक्तं मुक्तं निर्विषयं स्मृतम्.
So the cause of our misery is bondage. And this bondage is caused by the mind, not by the body. Important one. Not by Atma, because there are only three things we can identify. Either we can identify with the body and say body is the cause of bondage. But here Amritabindu Upanishad is saying no, no, no. Body is not cause of bondage. Body is an instrument which the mind uses. The senses are the gateways through which the mind goes outside. If I shut the senses, mind gets stuck. Important point. If I shut my senses, mind has no access outside. Suppose I close the doors of my room, I cannot see anything outside the room. Then I close my eyes, shut my eyes. I keep my senses in such a way that there is only the touch where I'm sitting on the chair. Maybe some sound will come on my ears of different things happening on the road, but after some time that also will dissolve. So mind will not be able to go outside. And that time, suppose I introduce that, okay, my dear mind, that if you go outside through the senses, you will get bound. So now turn inside. But for turning inside, I need the knowledge of Atma. That is where this Shastra knowledge is important. So many people who practice meditation, various kinds of meditation, they think just sitting straight, closing eyes, focusing on the breath, that many people do. But then after that, what? After that, if I do not have the knowledge of Atma, what is Brahman, then the mind will not turn inside. Mind will not get an anchor to hold on to. And that is the reason in all Upanishads, lot of verses are given on attributes of Atma, which will come here also. What is Atma? What is not Atma? So number one point is mind is alone the cause of bondage. Mind alone can liberate us. And what is the cause of how the mind gets bonded? The mind gets bonded with when it gets attached to sense objects. So as we are discussing, when we don't allow the senses to contact the mind to the object, the mind will get stuck inside, mind will revolt, mind will be very upset, mind will be very, very angry on us. And then if I persist, then only the mind will turn inside, because mind naturally goes outside the sense objects. So this is a literal meaning. Now we will analyze what this mantra number 2 says. So mana eva manushanam karanam bandha mokshayoha bandhaya vishayasaktam muktai nirvishayam smrutam. Mind alone is the cause of bondage and freedom for human beings. Literal meaning. Mind attached to situation, object, person is cause of bondage. Mind devoid of desire for situation, object, person is considered free. This is a literal meaning. Now we'll see what is the analysis. My mind is my world. Basically, number one point, very important. I do not experience any object. Very, very important. I must contemplate on this for hours. When I say that this is tomato, I have touched a tomato. Suppose you touch a tomato. That touch is only the contact of that finger to the tomato, but the knowledge can only happen, the bondage can only happen, the desire can only happen when the thought is generated in the mind. So only when the thought is generated, we say, I know the tomato. So very interesting one. I have to pay attention to now this subtle point. The eyes are seeing the tomato, that is pratyaksha pramana. When the eyes come, see the tomato, there is a thought which is generated in the mind, which is paroksha. Paroksha means para-aksha. It is, the eyes has no clue what is a thought generated in the mind. But it happens so rapidly that we are not able to recognize it. So here we have to dissect the mind, which is the most subtlest. And through what we are dissecting the mind? Through mind only. Mind means mind and intellect. So the tomato is not existing outside. The tomato is existing in my mind, in the thought. In the same way, replace the tomato with the world. The world exists in my thought. So Gurudev gave that equation. Consciousness is equal to thought plus object. Object minus thought is pure consciousness. That is what is mentioned in this Upanishad. Second verse. Object minus thought is pure consciousness. And here the same thing this Upanishad is mentioning is that the mind devoid of objects will be pure consciousness. That's the reason, initially I was, baffled by these statements of great saints. Like Adi Shankaracharya said that, I saw the pure consciousness like Avla on my hand. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says that like a Ashwatha flower, Kaisa Pahila Nirakara. How can he see Nirakara? Brahman. But when the mind is pure, but mind is still there, Savikalpa, then I can get access to that Atma pure. That is Savikalpa Samadhi. So no mind, no world. What is a Praman? Deep sleep. In deep sleep, the brain is functioning, the body is functioning. Atma is always already, Turiya Avastha already there. What is not there, what is not present, something is absent in deep sleep, that is the mind. Yatha drushti tatha srushti. That is another question comes in Bhagavad Gita. What is Jagata, outside world? Jayate gacchati. What is samsara, inside world? That which constantly keeps revolving again and again. Again and again, I want to experience the same taste, same vision, same form, same color, same touch, same smell, and then say that is an experience. So my world as we experience is my perceptions, my sensations, my thoughts and my feelings experienced within. So these sensations, thoughts, feelings, perceptions are experienced within. The stimuli may come from outside. So my mind alone is my bondage, my liberation. Because my world is what? Not the world what is outside me. Hari Om, I have to actually constantly tell us that when we come to Upanishadic level, we say that the world is inside me. Because my world is my perception. I can only experience my perceptions. Perceptions are visions, names and forms. I can experience only the sensations. So next time when we are doing observation of the breath, we should remember that we cannot know the breath at all. In this life, we cannot know the breath. We can only know what? We can only know the breath. When it goes inside the nostril, when it touches the nostril, we can only know the sensations. Hari Om, after this session, you have to say that this point is grasped properly. Like as Subodhananji Maharaj says that we cannot know space, we cannot know Akasha, we can only know Prakasha. Because there is Prakasha, we say there is Akasha. Akasha means space. So I can only have access to my own sensations, my own feelings, my own thoughts and my own perceptions, and I can change it. So when these two banks change, when the I notion changes from Ramana Maharshi says Jagan Mithya. Jagat Mithya, there is no world only. And he says, who am I? I am Satchitananda Swarup. Then whatever perceptions, sensations, thoughts, feelings are generated when the stimuli comes inside are different. When somebody goes and tells him that how to deal with others, he will say there are no others only. Because these are my perceptions about others, my thoughts about others, my feelings about others. So when I criticize somebody, when I say nice thing, I am discussing about my own thoughts. So when we discuss Upanishads, we have to come within. So my mind alone is my bondage and my liberation. So we are analyzing this mantra. Bondage and liberation is not dependent on gender, age, caste, religion, nationality, world. My bondage depends upon my desires about the world which is illusory and which creates these thoughts, sensations, perceptions, feelings. If I can alter this world inside my samsara, I will be liberated. What kind of mind is bondage? What kind of mind is liberation? Second sentence of the second verse of this Upanishad, second mantra of this Upanishad says, Bandhaya Vishaya Saktam Muktam Nirvishayam Smrutam. So psychological bondage assumption depends upon my mind thinks that there is happiness in the world. There is happiness in this body and mind. So desiring that is the cause of the bondage. What are the signs of this bondage? Lack of freedom, helplessness, sorrow. So very important point. Whenever I feel stuck, whenever I feel miserable, whenever I feel angry, whenever I feel upset, it is a kind of bondage what I'm experiencing. And that bondage is created by me, not by a person. Some person says, no, 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 because of this person I am bound. Because of this situation I am bound. Because of this age I am bound. Because of my gender I am bound. Suppose I would have been man, then I would have been liberated now. Because I am a woman, I have to do so much of work, so I am bound. No, no. Because I am stuck with this person, I am bound. Because I am stuck in this situation, I am bound. No, I am bound by my creation, which is my own creation. of my perception, my sensation, my thoughts, and my feelings. And now these are created by my own desires. And these desires are created because of my false notion that I am body, mind, intellect, one notion, and this world is real. So this is how we start connecting to these two banks. So now what is the practice I have to do whenever I experience sorrow, helplessness, lack of freedom, frustration? Frustration is a sign of lack of freedom. Irritation. Then I must say this is because my own creation of this perception, sensation, thought, feelings. Not because of the world outside, not because of this person. This is a very important step for a spiritual sadhak. Because now I am owning up responsibility of my own bondage and my own happiness on myself, not somebody, something outside me. Problem in Kama Sankalpa. Why this is important? Because the world is perceived outside. The result comes in the future. And I do not know whether this happiness I will get from situation, person or object. A person plans for a long trip and suddenly the person falls sick. Gone, happiness gone. The person thinks one person thinks this person will give me happiness for entire married life. Person doesn't give. Problem. I think that this object will give me happiness. This object doesn't give me happiness. After fourth gulab jam or rasgulla, I get nausea. As the object gives you nausea, the person can also give us nausea. Situation also can give us nausea. So the results are in future and there is uncertainty. What is one certain thing is that my Atma Swarup is Satchitananda, and suppose the mind turns towards it, changing the notion that Atma is having the happiness, not the world. Then the mind will do pratyahar the moment I sit for meditation. As Gurudev says that 23 and a half hours, what swadhyaya you do, what seva you do, what sanyam you do, what sadhana you do, that will show up in even 15-minute meditation is enough. Because the moment I sit, the mind will not go out, mind will come inside. Pratyahara. And when pratyahara happens, withdrawal of the mind, then dharana, dhyan, samadhi happens instantly. Taila dhara, what the mind will go towards Atma, because now I am having a strong conviction that happiness is located in my own nature. That is my own nature. What is the result of this bondage? Uncertainty, fear, worry, anxiety, birth, death, cycle continuation. What are the types of bondages we have? Physical bondages, age, gender, duty. There is another bondage we have unnecessary in the mind. No, because I am having duty, towards family. So actually I am not able to realize and focus on Atma. Otherwise I would have done meditation for 24 hours. No. It is about understanding. When I know that there is poison, it is potassium cyanide, I will not even look at it. I know it is dangerous. I know it is going to give me trouble. A person who is not having any imagination that there is happiness in beer, whiskey, cigarette, the person will not even not have even one thought towards drinking whiskey, beer, cigarette, because that thought itself will not come. Even the person is sitting amidst the best brands in the best bar in the best locality. So now this example is very important. So when I sit for meditation, whose thoughts are coming, that I am bounded with. Family bondage, financial bondage, social bondage, religious bondage, political bondage. I am a sadhak, I am a wife, I am a husband is a bondage. I am a swami also is a bondage. I am a swami is a role. Then I am a Hindu is a bondage in meditation. In meditation, when I sit, this is very important why we're discussing. In meditation, I must sit. I must do one practice that there must be imagining a table next to me. I must remove all my body, mind, intellect, tell that I don't have any religion, no social, political, financial, family, physical Panchakosha Viveka we saw in Taittiriya Upanishad, and then I sit for meditation. Greatest bondage, slavery of the mind, like, dislikes, fear, sorrow, emotions, passion, imaginations. This imagination is a big bondage. Even some people have a big imagination that after, in meditation, when I realize there will be some unique, great experience, nothing of that is going to happen. Suddenly I will see, hundreds of lights, and then different auras and different experiences I will get in meditation when I get enlightened. No, because I am just going to recognize my own nature. That's all. It is pure silence, and that silence, that shanti is ananda. Shantichi pai shanti, Jnaneshwar Maharaj says. Cause is identification, attachment with situation, object, person, that is the world, and my own body, mind, intellect. That is a cause. And who creates attachment? My own self. What is attachment? Psychological dependence. What is attachment? I plus I want. Greater attachment, greater sorrow, greater detachment, greater happiness. So, detachment, or when we vairagya comes or sannyas people take, they are more happy because they have less worries. As Swami Advayananji describes, Shravan SMN minus D is equal to meditation, is equal to sannyas. Shravan Manan Nididhyasanam minus distraction is equal to Vividisha sannyas. Insistence, resistance is equal to sorrow. Acceptance plus independence is equal to happiness. These are equations and formulas. So because we are focusing on what is bondage and how bondage happens. Liberation is equal to freedom and infinite happiness. Cause is identification with this top things, what is BMI and SOP. So now this is a very important equation we must see today. The first thought is aham asmi, I am, when we get up. Then the second thought is aham janati, I know, consciousness. Then third thought is aham sankalposmi. Then the fourth thought is aham ichchami, that is what ichcha comes much later. Then the next thought is what? How this I gets identified. This is a process. Because we are doing Upanishad, now we are not looking at the gross thing. Then the next thought is aham karosmi. Then the next thought is aham bhogosmi. Then the next thought is aham bandhosmi. And then aham sukhi dukhi jiva. Either I am sukhi or I am dukhi. So what is the English? I am, aham asmi, I know, I am. That is the first thought when we get up. We must catch that in the meditation when we get up from the sleep. The second, I know. Okay, I know the world. I know my body, mind, intellect. I start knowing. The consciousness starts, knowing it. Consciousness, the knowing aspect is always there. Then I imagine happiness in SOP. This is an important step, which we saw in the first mantra, Kama Sankalpa. Without Sankalpa, there will not be any Kama. Sankalpa comes first. Means the imagination that there is happiness in the world, there is happiness in this object, there is happiness in this person, and I am the body, mind, intellect comes before Ichcha. And then I want SOP, Ichcha comes. And then I act. I have to get up. Then I get result of it. Either I get or I don't get. Then I enjoy the result. I enjoy the failure also. I enjoy the success also. I enjoy means what? I get the result. Whether if I get anger, then that is a result of. If I get peace, then that is a result. If I get anger, if I get jealousy, that is a result. I enjoy or a repel. Then I get bonded by both. By enjoyment also, by repulsion also, by aversion also, by repulsion also. And then I declare, now I am happy, now I am sad. I felt so peaceful. I was so irritated. I was so jealous. I am so restless. I am so happy. I am so sad. This constantly goes on. This duality. Today was a very good day. Today was a very bad day. The general conversation happened that we see. I felt so good listening to this. The meditation was so good. The meditation was so bad. The session was so good. The session was, my attention was not there. So all these things are going on constantly, and that is what Jiva Bhava is. Constant change in Aham Dukhi, Aham Sukhi. Aham Dukhi, Aham Sukhi. And there is in between comes neutral. So we saw the process, how we get bondage also, because that is analysis of the mantra too. Important point to be noted here. Today's point is that Sankalpa leads to Kama, Kama leads to Krodha, Krodha leads to Lobha, Lobha leads to Moha, Moha leads to Mada. Matsarya. Moha means here we are not taking the original Moha delusion. Because actually the Moha leads to Shoka. But that delusion we are not talking. So Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, these 6 things are created, these 6 impurities are created by Sankalpa. Hari Om. So now we have to pay attention. What is the second mantra saying? What is the first mantra saying? That there are 2 kinds of mind, pure mind, impure. Impure mind has 6 impurities. Pure mind is not having these 6 impurities. What is the cause of bondage? My mind is the cause of bondage. My mind is the cause of liberation. What kind of mind gets bondage? That mind which has the Kama Sankalpa. And that mind which doesn't have a Kama Sankalpa will be liberated. So now a sadhak, slowly, if you see how the Upanishad is moving, it is taking us to a point where it will say that now you work on this Sankalpa. And this Sankalpa is created by what? These 2 notions. So this notions is called as ignorance. So what will destroy the ignorance? The knowledge. Gita also says, Sankalpa Prabhava Kaman. So this, because Gita is Upanishad Su. So very important distinction. We got like 2 notions in the deeper aspect. Because normally we say desire is a cause of suffering. No, Buddha said desire is a cause of suffering. We are saying no. Before desire happens, there is Sankalpa, which is a cause of suffering and bondage. Completely renounce all desires arising from fanciful imaginations and completely refrain the senses. That is what Gita suggests. How to liberate? What we should do? Mantra number 3. So Vidya, can you chant it?
Yes, sir. यतो निर्विषयस्यास्य मनसो मुक्तिरिष्यते अतो निर्विषयं नित्यं मनः कार्यं मुमुक्षुणा यतो निर्विषयस्यास्य मनसो मुक्तिरिष्यते अतो निर्विषयं नित्यं मनः कार्यं मुमुक्षुणा.
Who is a mukshu? Who is now interested? Now the person is saying, yes, I don't want to be miserable. I don't want to keep moving into this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara again and again. I want to liberate. Mumukshunam. And what this person would do? Mind, I will work on my desires. Mind free from desires of sense objects become liberated. Therefore, a seeker of liberation, mumukshu, should always practice to free the mind from the sense objects. And how will the mind be free from the sense objects? Not by suppression, not by expression, but by thinking. Slowly thinking about it. So that is a Jnana Marga which Upanishad suggests. At the same time, I must do Karma Yoga for purification of the mind. I must do Upasana for the concentration of the mind. And I must understand this, analyze the mind, read the Upanishad, think about it, where suddenly the bandha is released. The knots are released. So we'll do the analysis of the mantra next time. How can we free the mind from the SOP? And what are the do's and don'ts, that we will see next time. So that is a process to free the mind from the sense objects. So what are the do's we should practice and what are the don'ts we should practice? Clearly, we will see in the next session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you very
You
much.
said Yajna announcement you did.
Yes, there is one announcement. There are 2-3 announcements. Our Yajna is coming up of Swami Satmanandji on Safalta Ka Rahasya. First time in Ghatkopar. So those who are staying in Chembur and Ghatkopar have more responsibility. And there is one more session in Somaya happening on 15th and 16th at 7 o'clock. We want at least 100 Narayan Zone people, sadhaks, to come to attend to Somaya. And here, if you are not able to attend, then you can, give some donation and ensure that this yajna happens in full scale, because almost ₹1,00,000 is going to be spent for hall, etc. And we also need volunteers for bookstall, for various calling up, for sending the flyers, etc. So let us make it success, because that purifies our mind, that not only that I must be liberated, I must be successful, I must be happy, I must connect. Every Chinmaya Mission member's duty is to connect sadhaks, new sadhaks to Chinmaya Mission, to Gurudev's words. That is what is the main job. So as Gurudev, rooted us on the scriptures, today Gurudev is physically not with us, Shankaracharya is not with us, but we are rooted on the scriptures. In the same way, please call up people, don't hesitate. For our marriage ceremony at home, death ceremony, we call 2,500, 200 people. Here we hesitate. So please go all out and call. There are many sadhaks who have not been coming, who have gone, who are not regular. Please call them up and then get them and make it a success. So we will send the flyers. If anybody wants to volunteer for anything, donate, please contact us. We will guide.